Hello, let's consider a scenario. In this scenario, you are the chief technology officer of a manufacturing company, and the company is basically producing electronics hardware. Okay, let's say this fictitious company name is Acme Electronics. Okay, so what Acme Electronics does, they produce electronics equipment, and you are the chief technology officer giving them technology solutions to ensure that the business improves. Basically, let's say you as a CTO wants to design and develop their electronics retail store. Okay, so essentially what they want to do, they want to develop a online store like amazon.com or ebay.com, so that Acme Electronics can sells all its product online. All right, and as a CTO, your goal is to create that online retail system. All right, and let's assume you are like, you hire some software developer, then you consult with different consulting firms, and then you come up with a service which looks like this. All right, so this is a deployment of your online store. All right, and this deployment consists of different components. Like these components down below is database. Okay, and then on the top of database we have something called application apps server, and on top of that we have something called web infrastructure, like web servers. Okay, and then different clients, they are connecting to your web server and connecting to the application server and then to the database. All right, and these are the clients. This is the infrastructure for your online retail. This is infrastructure for online retail store. All right, so let's say you buy the software from somebody, then you customize it, and you are now all ready to go for production. So what kind of questions will bother you, will give you sleepless night, or will make you nervous before you take this deployment to production? Okay, so basically the first question maybe you ask is that what about this deployment, what you're saying, is this production ready? Right, so what do you mean by production ready? I mean that is the system is fast enough to respond to the user's request. That means when these users are buy product online, are they are getting fast enough response time so that they are satisfied. Okay, so the first thing is that is the system fast enough. And then, so it's not for one user, hopefully right now your system is built so that it can sustain 1 million users. Okay, so basically the second question probably will ask is that is this scalable enough, is this scalable enough to handle 1 million users? Say for example, one of your database system failed, right? So basically, is this system, what about the systems you're building, is it fault tolerant? That means if we can if there is something, in some disaster happen, then can this system be resilient enough to recover back, and and there won't be any loss of revenue or any damaged brand value due to this kind of sluggishness. Second kind of questions maybe I'll be worried as a CTO would be, here in this diagram I just put some artificial number of app server, artificial number of web server, artificial number of database servers and storage and so on. But you would like to know, when you want to go in real life, when you go to production, you like to know what are the infrastructure requirement. What are the infrastructure requirement, right? So that means you need to understand, I also give you a very artificial number here, 1 million users. So you need to understand, you need to predict what is my peak load. That means in the, like for example in the holiday season, that is where the peak load comes. So what kind of traffic I'm expecting to satisfy from my online store. Okay, and also you like to know how many database servers I need. Okay, so how many servers. Okay, and also you like to know that if there are any issues, like if there is any scalability issues, then you need to know the workaround to avoid those kind of scenario from the customers, from the online users. Okay. And also, so another important thing is that, like, right now we have, doing the business, we have 1 million users, let's say. So how is the rate of growth? Like, 6 months, can we handle 2 million users? And 6 months later, can you handle, so what is the growth? So how fast your users are going to grow? So based on that, you need to predict the future requirement. So future planning is required. So the third question that you probably like to know, what are my current bottlenecks? That means before you really going to production, you need to know, like, which part of the system has some issues, right? And then, so that is where you need to know what kind of things you can do so that you can tune your existing system. So tune existing system so that the existing system will run in an optimized format. Okay. And then you also like to know, if something is going to fail out of here, which system is going to fail first. Okay. So basically you need to understand about which subsystem to fail first, and you need to have some kind of tricks so that you can monitor those systems, so that before even the user come to know, you should able to know the issue, and hopefully we will able to address those issues before any user come to know. That means before your failure is going to happen. Okay, but how can you respond to those kind of failure? Okay, so that means how resilient your system is to failure. So essentially, what I would be worried as a CTO of a company, when I'm about to do some production release of a system, I would be worried about these kind of questions. Okay, so what I have done here, I have just summarized those things here. So now here is a question. So if you have so many number of questions that you have, at least I'm showing you 15 questions, but when you are in that hot seat, you probably will come up with 500 questions. So how do you answer those questions? Okay, so what is the answer? The answer, it depends, because there is no specific answer for here. Why there is no specific answer? Because in the first place, if you look at the questions, none of these questions are very specific. When you said how fast the system is, what do you mean by fast? Is it 5 milliseconds is a fast, or a 0.3 millisecond is fast? It depends on the scenario. It depends on the use case. Okay, so that is the reason that why I say there is no specific answer to these kind of questions. However, if you really want to know about your system, that means first of all you come up with the right kind of questions, and the art of having right kind of questions and then solving those things is the realm of performance engineering. Okay, any software product, or even you said any hardware product, we can do a performance engineering of that product. And what I'm going to do in these sets of videos, I'm going to explain my experience of performance engineering, and I will do small video, I will do short video nuggets, so that I can probably explain you I will create a playlist. So here is my my idea. What I'm going to do in the next set of videos, I would like to explain you the fundamentals and foundation of performance engineering, and also I'm planning to create an extensive and comprehensive course so that you can learn various tools that is available right now in market, like HP LoadRunner, Apache JMeter, or NeoLoad, or any kinds of load testing tool. I will tell you all those tricks how to do performance engineering in general. Thanks for your time. I appreciate that, and see you in the next video.